Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you? Thank you for
I'm
coming
good,
and
thank you.
joining me a
Bit
bit
sleepy.
earlier, Izzy.
Yeah.
Are you
How
still
are you getting
buzzing from
on?
yesterday?
Yeah, you know what? I don't even think it's sunk in yet. I was like, woke up this morning and I was like, oh, okay, that happened. It's mad.
Did you get celebrating much last night? Or I suppose you went home with the kids and
Yeah,
just
so
went
came
on as
home.
normal?
I went and seen a friend for a bit and then just came home and slept. Oh, that was
I
good.
would say, I would say you've been working yourself up all week for it too. Like so, you good sleep's probably what you just needed.
Definitely. And I've had a chest infection as well, so been on antibiotics for that since Monday as well. So
That's right. And you
I think
still
my
fucking
body's
managed to pull world masters record. And it's a
sure where
new
that came
Scottish
from.
record as well, isn't
I
it?
know. It was mad because I didn't know that it was a world record until I was on my way home last night.
Yeah.
And it was Luke Davies had actually messaged and he was like, just so you know, that's a Masters world record too. And I was like, what? No way.
Class.
So yeah, it was
I
kind
don't
of
think of
crazy.
you though as a masters competitor. Like you don't compete in any of the masters competitions, or do you?
No, I've done a couple. I'd done one at the start of the year down at Chaos. And have I done any other ones? No, I think that's it. I think that's the only one I've done. I like to just kind of compete in the opens, and there's not many up in Scotland. There's not too many Masters comps that happen, so it's kind of finding ones that are about to do, and there's not many of them. So
So
yeah,
we have Izzy Tait on. She is now the as well as the Scottish deadlift record. She now holds the world masters deadlift record of 272.5. Am I right in saying that, isn't it?
yeah, right.
So congratulations! Wow,
Thank
watching
you.
that back yesterday, I was just waiting nervously to get the fucking video through, and I was like, ah! couldn't actually I couldn't believe it. I was going to say I couldn't believe it. Of course I could believe it. We knew it was
Oh,
in you, like from the videos you were posting. Like so, well done.
thank
Congratulations. How are you
you.
feeling?
Good. Yeah. A bit shocked. It was a bit surreal. It just all happened so quickly. Like it was, you do it and then you're like, oh, that's it. We're done. But yeah, no, it is madness. I don't think it has properly sunk in yet. I think it'll maybe take another couple of days before it
Yeah.
finally sinks in.
And at the start, I did notice at the start of the video you were shouting. I couldn't make out quite what it was, but I take it you were saying something to the kids.
This is for you. Yeah. So they were. I just my daughter was standing kind of right in front of us, so it was
Ah,
good to have her
must have been
standing there.
awesome doing it in front of your daughter as well.
Amazing. Yeah, it was
What
so
age
good.
is she? She's pretty young too, isn't she?
So Kyla, that was with us yesterday, she's 15. Sophie, she was at home. She had her horse riding and things yesterday to do,
Yeah.
so she didn't. She missed it. So
Ah, but she got to watch the videos
it's.
back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it was good. But it was good having one of them then.
Yeah. So, how did you psych yourself up then? The whole like, how did your prep go this whole week? Tell us a bit
Well,
about that.
so we've been not well. I've kind of just been focused on recovery this whole week. Rested a lot of Lemsips, a lot of antibiotics. Making sure that I still got enough food and things in. I lost my appetite kind of midweek, so I was just kind of trying to force feed myself to make sure that I was fueled up enough for it. I struggle on comp day to eat at all,
Yeah,
so I knew it was important to kind of get as much food in the kind of the day before to tide us over. So we've done that, and then in the morning I just had some porridge for breakfast, and that was me, good to go.
it was a different kind of competition, I guess, because you weren't competing the full show.
Yeah,
You were doing the debt. So how different was that in comparison to say like UK's when you were doing that? Prep was obviously different for that.
so yeah, so because yesterday was just one lift, it kind of took a lot of the pressure off, I suppose. And it was good to be able to go. I was able to just sit in the crowd for the first bit of it and cheer the guys on and watch a bit of the comp, catch up with a few people, and then I went just back and started warming up and things, and so it was good. I didn't feel like there was as much pressure um, on the day because it was just that one lift. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't. You knew after you had done that, you didn't have anything else to do, so you wouldn't. You were able to just go out and just give it your all, and it was good.
That's it. And what so your comp block for your training block for the deadlift, how far back did you start training for that?
About 6 weeks ago.
6 weeks.
Yeah, so we just kind of peaked and then had obviously the last week off. We had a wee mock meet in the gym a few weeks back, and we done 250 at that.
Yeah.
And it moved really, really well. And that was the heaviest pull that I've done before yesterday. I just went in. Obviously, my coach was like, "You've got it. Like, you know it's there." And I just trusted with that and went with it. And yeah, it went.
And it went. It was just again, it was just class to watch. Like, so it was. So what do I say? What was most of your training block consistent of? Obviously, it was deadlifts, but were you doing like what was your? Were you training 4 days a week, 3 days a week? Were you taking?
No, so since the start of this year, obviously I had that relapse with my brain condition. I've only been training 2 days a week. Anything out with that's just it's too much for my body at the minute. I was still having a lot of seizures. Meds and things were getting changed. So that's my body just kind of getting back to normal at the minute. So we'll maybe look into upping it again to 3 days going forward. But yeah, no, 2 days. So done 1 day we'd have done overhead and accessories, and then 1 day we'd have done deadlift and accessories, and that was it.
I think as well. I actually forgot that you have a like a condition. So tell us a wee bit more about that. Because I mean, if you're only training 2 days a week and you've pulled 272.5 kilos, imagine whenever you're at your at your best with your
Yeah,
condition well under control. Imagine what you're going to be able to
yeah,
pull in.
I know. It'll be good to see. So I've got a brain condition called brain separation syndrome, and I've also got epilepsy. So the two of them combined to get obviously seizures from the epilepsy. The brain condition causes temporary paralysis down my right hand side, causes like fatigue, muscle spasms, just lots of different pains that come with it. So it's just kind of working through it and doing the best we can to keep training, even if it's just very light or just movement or whatever. We'll just kind of go with that.
Was that the same as well whenever you were training for UKs? Were you only doing 2 days a week training for that?
UKs, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. This
Wow.
whole year I've only done from January. It's only been 2 days a week.
That's bloody incredible, Izzy. So it is really
Thank
incredible.
you.
Because I know it wasn't too long ago. I remember you posting up a thing saying that you weren't really able to train at all. That was
Yeah.
after UKs, wasn't it? I think it was after UKs, or was that just before it?
So no. So in January I had a relapse, and I had the temporary paralysis for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I had days where I was training a couple of days a week, and then there was weeks where I couldn't train at all. But yeah, UK's, I think we got 2 days in most of the weeks for a good 5 weeks before that. So
Why did you just switch on for you to lift that weight?
so I just kind of go into my own head a little bit. I suppose I think quite dark thoughts. And then obviously when my kids are there, I always look at them first, and they just kind of are my motivation to just go and do it. I just like to show them that you can do anything you put your mind to.
They're your biggest
So,
supporters, I'm assuming too.
oh, definitely, yeah, they're amazing.
Do you
So,
just picture the weight? Like, do you just picture having to lift the weight off them? Because I know it was, I can't remember, it was Eddie Hall or some of the other ones who were lifting the weights. Picture like picking the deadlift up off the top of them. Go away. Sorry, if the dog here torture me for pets. I have lost my train of thought, but yeah, do you just picture lifting it off your kids, or do you just
no,
nothing like that?
I've never had to go quite that deep.
Not that deep.
It might happen, but no, I tend to more. I've been working with my management coach for the past 5-6 weeks, and we've been doing like a lot of visualization and just working on mind management and how to just put yourself in a very positive mind frame. So we've done a lot of like visualization, seeing the weight before we had done it, like seeing yourself standing in that arena, walking up to the bar, lifting it, a successful lift, how you're going to feel like when you lift it, the emotions that you're going to go through, who you're going to first look at. Like, so before I had even walked out there yesterday, in my mind, I'd already lifted that weight 100 times.
Yeah.
Like, so it just made it so much easier because to me, I had already done it. So I was just kind of going out there and being like, just stand up with it now because you've done it. Like, the hard work's done. And yeah, so it worked quite well.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way of actually visioning it. Just you're basically just going from a seat, from sitting in a chair to standing, like basically whenever you think about
Yeah,
it, that's really what a deadlift is.
basically
That's
that's it.
what.
Just stand up.
Yeah. So if you were to give any pointers for a deadlift to any newbies, what would they be?
Make sure you've got your technique nailed before you try and go up the weights. I think a lot of people think it's either a push or a pull exercise, when it's not. It's both.
Mm-hmm.
So just, yeah, if you need to get a coach to go over things with you, and just drill in that technique, and then yeah, just go for it.
Did you have any sticking points whenever you were starting out? What was your sticking points?
So I'm quite a slow puller off the floor, so I had to work quite a lot on that. I remember, like, when I was trying to get to the 200 for the first time, the amount of times that I failed it and screamed at that bar, and it would literally come like mid shin and then would just stop. So it was very frustrating, but my coach was good. He was like, do this, do that. Just changed tiny little tweaks, like just move your hands out slightly, narrow your stance ever so slightly, and just drilling that, pushing through the floor. And it's amazing the difference that it makes. You don't, until you're doing it, you don't actually realise it's crazy.
How did you
Definitely.
find deadlifting in a suit? That did you have to?
So I've been practicing it obviously every week. I always find it, if I've been out of the suit for a while, getting back in it's so uncomfortable. But it's just kind of, I make sure that I wear slidey leggings underneath it. So Chaos do really good leggings, and it helps the suit come on easier. And then just obviously once I'm in the suit, like, I'll squat into it and just try and get as comfortable as you possibly can. And then I think it's more learning to breathe when you're in the suit, like when you're going down to the bar. It's learning to keep your breathing going, because it's so hard, because obviously you've got your suit on and then your belt on top of it. So it's taking the wind out of you. So I just focus on really getting the oxygen in as much as I can, and not letting it freak you out. I used to freak out when I couldn't breathe. I'd be like, oh my God, and it would put us off the pool. Whereas now I'm like, no, it's fine.
It's just second nature now to you.
Yeah.
So it is. What brand of suit do you use?
The metal one.
Have you anything else you want to say for anybody watching? No.
No. Go smash it.
That's the best advice. Go smash it. That's brilliant, Izzy. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me on.